When he prepared to seek high seas, Aeneas first built his fleet in Phrygian Ida. Then the Berecynthian herself, the mother of gods, is said to have addressed these words to mighty Jove. My son, now you have won Olympus, listen to my prayer. Grant what your dear mother asks. I had a forest of pine, which I had loved for many years, upon my mountain's summit, where men brought their offerings to me. Here, shadowed, stood a grove of black pitch trees and trunks of maples. I gave these gladly to the Dardan chief when he had need to build a fleet. But anxious fear now torments my troubled breast. Free me of dread and answer this, a mother's prayer, that in their journeying no wave or whirlwind may ever tear these timbers. Let it be a help to them that they grew on my mountains. Her son, who turns the constellations, answered, Why, mother, have you called upon the fates? What are you asking for your favorites? That holes made by the hands of mortals should have the immortal's privilege, and that Aeneas may pass sure through unsure dangers? What god commands such power? None the less, when they have fulfilled their tasks and reached their end of journeying, the harbors of Ausonia, then all that have escaped the waves and carried the Dardan leader to Laurentum's lands are saved. I shall strip off their mortal form. I shall command those galleys to take on the shapes of goddesses of the great waters, even as are the Nereids, Galatea and Doto, whose breasts cut the foaming sea. He spoke, and by his Stygian brother's waters, by river banks that seethe with pitch, a black and whirling vortex nodded his assent, and with his nod made all Olympus shudder. The promised day was come, the time of fates was full, when Turnus' outrage called the mother to drive the torches off her sacred ships. And first upon all eyes a strange light glittered, and from the east a giant storm cloud seemed to race across the skies. Idaean choirs were thundering. An awesome voice ran through the air, filling the Trojan and Rutulian armies with terror. Teucrians, do not take weapons in your hands. Do not defend my fleet. It is far easier for Turnus to burn the seas that touch my sacred pines. Go free my ships. Go, you sea goddesses. The mother of the gods now gives this order. And on the instant all the ships have ripped their cables off the banks, and with their beaks, like dolphins, dive to seek the deep. And then as many virgin shapes, amazing omen, rise up to ride the sea as just before, where brazen prows lined up along the shore. Now panic takes Rutulian hearts, even Messapus is afraid. His stallion startled, the hoarse flow of the river stops, for Father Tiber has turned his footsteps from the sea. But daring Turnus still is confident. He goads his comrades' courage with his words. He even scolds with this reproach. These signs are aimed against the Trojans. Jupiter himself has snatched away their usual help. Their ships did not await our lance or torch. The Trojans have no way across the seas. They have no hope of flight. Half of the world is now denied to them, and for the rest, the land is in our hands. So many thousands now crowd armed Italy. I do not fear the destined oracles of gods, of which these Phrygians boast so much. It is enough for fate and Venus that the Trojans touch the fertile fields of Italy. And I have my own fates to set against their own, to whip this cursed nation with the sword. They stole my wife from me. Such injury and hurt do not only touch Atreus' sons. Mycenaeans are not the only ones who war by right. The Trojans say, but one destruction is enough. But to have sinned once was enough. By now these Trojans should have shunned all women utterly, and not have followed Helen with Lavinia. These men who take their courage from the thin margin of battlement or ditch between themselves and death, have they not seen the walls of Troy, which Neptune's own hand built, sink down in flames? But you, my chosen ones, who will be first to join me with his sword, to cut their ramparts down, to rush their panicked camp? I have no need of Vulcan's arms, nor any need of 1,000 keels against the Trojans, and straight off they can take all of the Tuscans as comrades. Here they need not fear the darkness, the shameful theft of their palladium, the murder of the high tower's gardens. The dark womb of a horse will not hide us. In broad daylight, in sight of all, I mean to gird their walls with fire. They will know that what they face is not a quarrel with Danaans, or with Pelasgian boys whom Hector held at bay 10 years. But now, my men, since day's best part is gone, for what is left of it, refresh your bodies gladly. You did well. Be sure, we shall be ready for fresh battle. Meanwhile, Messapus is assigned the task of posting pickets to blockade the gates, encircling all the walls with sentry fires. Twice 7 men are chosen for patrols. Each has along with him 100 soldiers with purple plumes and glittering with gold. They hurry off to take their posts by turns. Some watch, some stretch along the grass, enjoying wine as they tilt bronze bowls. The fires burn bright. The sentries game away the sleepless night.